Welcome. I am GpaSilverMane, and this is a video covering all the original challenges. And what I mean by original is if you look on the screen, it says original mutagens, original alchemy, and all that is 5 mutants, 5 tech, 5 skill, 5 mystic, 5 something else's. It's one of each of the traits. And what I'm going to try to do in this is show you how I go about which characters to invest my ISOs in, because early on and even late game on my main account, I don't spend them willy-nilly because you just don't get enough. And I spend a significant amount of money on my main account and I still don't get enough. So you want to use these wisely. It will get you through get you to Doom Raids quicker, as well as it will get you through to Dark Dimension and through it a lot faster. I'm going to try to keep this as focused as I possibly can. Before we dive in here, if you haven't already, definitely subscribe so you're up to date and you see new videos that come out. This is a Marvel Strike Force 2.0 video, which is my series covering like beginner to mid-game, everything Marvel Strike Force essentially. But subscribing will definitely keep you up to date when new videos go live. We will be doing a $100 giveaway upon hitting 1,000 subscribers, so we're headed for that. It's completely free to subscribe. It's just going to benefit you in the long run. Also, thumbs it up if you're liking the video or the content, if you find it helpful, informational, you want to help support the channel, thumbs it up. Let's YouTube recommend this to more of the Marvel Strike Force community looking for this particular information. There's a comment section. If you have any questions after this, or maybe something I missed, something you want to add to it, please feel free to comment down below. It's appreciated, as well as I will respond to any questions as soon as I see them. I try to stay as active as possible and answer all questions. There is a Discord link below as well in the description. Feel free to check us out there. There's a ton of helpful, friendly Marvel Strike Force community members there. And they will help as well with as best they can. We are growing, learning together, and I'm not always in Discord, but when I am, I read the backlogs and I try to catch up and help as many people as I possibly can with my free time. So definitely check us out over there. All right, let's go ahead and dive in here real quick. And I want to say, when I say original, I mean these original challenges. I'm speaking of the original 5 challenges. The original challenges, though, that we started the game with are these. These are originally the beginning challenges, but then they went and named these ones. All these are is catch-up mechanics to focus you towards Doom Raids and Dark Dimension, okay? And they're all intertwined. I'm going to explain how they're intertwined real quick before I get sidetracked and dive into this. I just made a 25-minute video, and I ran in circles talking about all this stuff, and I'm going to try to do it better this time. I do want to jump over to my main account and talk about Doom Raids. Now, those original challenges are built to help you take 5 characters that you're going to need for Doom Raids, okay? 5 mutants, 5 tech, 5 skill, 5 mystic. I can't think of the 5th one. It keeps evading me. Let's find it here. So we got bio. You need 5 bio characters, ISO 8, tier 1, level 4. Now, in the original challenges, each one, you got to be level 3, tier 1, level 3 ISO, tier 1, level 4 ISO, tier 1, level 5 ISO, okay, to do these different challenges. And all they do is they give you more gear as you complete through them. As you can see, 1 gold, 1 purple, 15 purple. I guess it drops back to 1s and 2s. This is first time rewards and such. But it just keeps getting better. And at the end, you're looking at 3 golds, you know what I mean? 6 gold of these. And it's all the mutants and the mutant ones. So the five mutants you're going to use for this, essentially this gear is going to go into. Okay? Let's jump back over. And the reason that is, it's going to build you 5 bio characters. 5 skill. 5 tech. 5 mystic. 5 mutant. Okay? And they're going to be the 5 original challenges. And they're going to set you up for Doom Raids as fast as possible. Now, the characters you want to use for the original challenges are the characters, ideally, you're going to use in this Doom Raid. Now, bear in mind, you might not have a Cersei Icarus. You might not have some of the characters. Some of the characters aren't even farmable that are recommended for Doom Raids. So you got to make do with what you got, okay? But utilize as best you can the characters and the teams you're going to use in Doom Raids is the teams you want to use in the original challenges. Okay, I want to jump over here real quick to Dark Dimension because it's intertwined as well. These 3 things flow together really, really well. Alright, so I want to go into Dark Dimension 4 here. I'm actually on my 4th pass through, and I'm just blowing through it. It's quite simple after a while, even on full auto. But now it's going to tie in here. You're going to need city, global, cosmic, and legendary. global, city, cosmic, and then at the end it's legendaries. But the legendaries are a different note. We'll worry about that later. The main thing is it's going to tie into it. As you can see here for the city lane, I'm using, well, let's see what they're using. This is the go-to team. Now, Web Warriors for a newer account, your first year of play, you're building Web Warriors. Web Warriors are going to be better than this, or should be. And you might have a mix and match team. But as you can see, the characters you're using in your original challenges that for Doom raids are also going to plug in here. And that's what I'm trying to explain. Global, let me look here. Again, we're still in city for some reason. Let's go over to cosmic. Now, Cersei and Icarus, if you miss them, you can't get Silver Surfer right now. Kestrel's a plug and play. I throw in Proxima because she's one of the better ones that I have available to me. Some of these characters may not be viable, but the ones you use in your challenges will translate over to this eventually. In many ways. So cosmic again, let's go over here to global if I can. Again, a lot of in-game characters here. Let's look at what other people used. In-game characters. Needless to say, it's hard for me to show it here, but they will. The character you use in your original 5 challenges that are going to be used in Doom raids are also going to transition into your Dark Dimension teams. And you'll make compositions of them, okay? I want to go back to my free-to-play here, and I want to touch on this. Let's go through these 5. So, original mutants. Now, what I do is I go in here, and I pick out a character I know I'm going to use later. Astonishing X-Men is the best raid team for Ultimates right now, as well as they are a 5-man team that can clear Doom mutant lane. They are best in slot. So, that's the characters I'm taking up to ISO 5 first, so I can use them into Doom. Now, the Weapon X here, obviously, my guide is set up to get me to Omega Red, Fury, Weapon X. To get these characters, he's free from the raid store. You get him from achievements. These characters are going to star fast. I want the Weapon X team. I'm going to ISO them high. Why not do it now? These are the 5 I'm using. Now, if you're building Uncanny X-Men, they're a war team. Maybe you could use them elsewhere. Maybe you want to invest into Magic. To me, it's not a good idea because I'm probably not going to use her in Doom raids, okay? As of now, she is not viable, in my opinion. She is not meta for Doom raids, in my opinion, currently. And that's just how Scopely set it up. Now, maybe she eventually will be. But I don't want to ISO Deadpool and Toad and Namor because they're not going to be used in Doom raids and or Dark Dimension, essentially is what I'm trying to say. The Astonishing X-Men mutants may not be used in Dark Dimension, but they will be used in Doom raids, okay? So what I do is I come in here and I get them up to 3s. Now, over here, I'm working on them. I got to get them to 4s, okay? I'm going to use the same 5 characters, and I'm going to use the same 5 characters, taking them to 5. And that's who I'm using for original mutagens. Yours might be different, but the 5 you pick, definitely focus them, okay? Now, let's look here. I was lucky enough to unlock Icarus, but not Cersei. Obviously, if you have Icarus and Cersei, they are 2 that you're going to want to use because you're going to use them in Doom raids as well as Dark Dimension. I'm using Moon Knight in Dark Dimension as well as Doom raids. These 2 I don't know that I am, but I am building Shadowlands as one of my favorite teams, and it's a choice I've made to invest into them. Ghost Rider was my free character, and I'd really like to enjoy him on this account. He is one of my 5. I'm currently using Panther or Elektra, but Elektra will go to 4 and 5 before Panther. I will not put any more ISOs into Panther. He is for Chaos Theory currently. It's not a team that I'm going to max, okay? But I will be taking Elektra to 5 because Shadowlands is one of my favorite teams, and that's who I will use to do this. Obviously, if you get some plug-and-play character, like if I get a lucky draw for Cersei, I'm going to start focusing her instead of Ghost Rider. If I get Hela, I'm going to start focusing her instead of Elektra, maybe. I don't know yet. These aren't even farmable. None of these are. And if you missed them, they're not an option. If you got them, you could take them. That would have to be a choice for your account. Even if I had these 4, Silver Surfer is the only one I might use here. And the rest of these are in-game characters. And you're going to have this max before you have to worry about it, okay? But you want to use the same 5 over and over. Let's go over here. This is the tech lane. This one I haven't been able to start because I don't have 5 characters I actually want to use. None of these characters I am personally going to use in Dark Dimension and or Doom raids. Could you use Nebula with Infinity Watch? Sure, I guess. Tech, I guess Gamora wouldn't be in here. It wouldn't be able to use them as a team. You could use Gamora, I guess, in Doom, but I'm not. I'd be more inclined to invest in my Creeks. I'm using them to unlock Fury, as well as my Mysterio, because I'm using that to unlock Shuri. The 5 characters ideally I would like to use for this lane are all in-game characters like Ghost, Coulson, Kestrel, LDS, Doom, any of these 2, Doc Ock or Shuri, or Ultron is my ideal path. Obviously, taking any character to level 3 ISO, tier 1 level 3 ISO, is not a heavy investment. And that way, if it's not a character you're going to use long term, at least you can get these rewards for this difficulty 1 here. Okay? That's the big thing. You want these rewards. And these will get you up and going towards Dark Dimension. And then once you've unlocked Ultron, I would absolutely say he's one of the 5 characters you should take to tier 1 level 5 ISO. So that should be one of your characters you're going to use. You're going to have access to him within your first 4 or 5 months. Maybe 6 months of gameplay, depending on what guides you're following, if any. And then the rest is kind of who you want to use in Doom Raids. But for Doom Raids, this is hard to say because the only characters you're going to use in Doom Raids from Tech are Ghost, Kestrel, Doom, Doc Ock, Shuri, Ultron. Now, these might be variations that you can use later if you chose to. Me personally, I don't have any experience in that category, but the characters I just said are really hard to get to use for this. So this is the one exclusion. You're kind of going to just have to use 5 characters. Obviously, Kree's going to be my option, Pimtech, maybe Mercs, and Sin 6. We'll make a compilation of those teams. As for bio, I'm going to use Web Warriors as I get them. I already got 2. I'm going to take these guys to ISO level 5. I believe they're getting close to ISO 4. He's Shadowlands, Kree to unlock Fury. These are the 5 I'm using with Rhino. He's to unlock my Shuri. Ideally, the ideal characters, obviously Symbiotes or Web Warriors would be ideal. If you're going Infinity Watch, Phyla-Vel's a great character. These are all great characters, essentially. And if you miss the Web Warriors release and they're not farmable for a long time, Symbiotes, the few that you can get are pretty good. That's the tough part. It depends on what you're following for your guide. So, I'm not going Symbiotes on this account. I'm going Web Warriors. Now, if I were to miss the Web Warriors, I would not go Symbiotes even then. Just because it's so hard to get Symbiote. Spider-Man, it's a joke. I would focus Kree, Daredevil, and Rhino. Would be the ones that take up Electro, stuff like that. Stuff that's in my farming guide. Let's go over to the last one. Original expertise. Alright, so I am clearing this. Sharon Carter is the one that I'm going to use the most. She is going to level 5, as well as all the Secret Avengers. My Shadowlands, she's going to level 5 ISO. I'm going to T4 her. He's a plug and play I was able to get. I'm going to use him. I'm going to utilize him, needless to say, as well as ISO 5ing him isn't a bad thing for when he goes toward defense. Punisher, I'm not going to take any higher. He is skilletary and all, but I don't want to take him to level 5 ISO because I'm not really going to use him other than outside that Flash event, more than likely. We'll see how it goes, though. You got to do what you got to do, and if I have to take him to 4 or 5, I will. As you can see, I haven't got any of the plug-and-plays. Kestrel, Maria Hill's one that I would invest up to 5, set Cap Sam up to 5, Fury up to 5, but I haven't unlocked them yet. So once I unlock Fury with my Kree, he will go to 5 and be used in this. If I get lucky with a Kestrel or Cap Sam, they will. Maria Hill, same thing. Those are the characters I would use, ideally. Could you use other characters? Absolutely. But I would say try to use the characters you're going to use in Doom Raids and or Dark Dimension. Get characters you can use in multiple game modes, essentially, is what I'm trying to say here. This gear is what's going to take these characters up to be able to get through Dark Dimension, as well as compete in Doom. And for me, these are all characters. Skilletary, plug and play, Secret Avengers to unlock Omega Reds, part of my farming guide, Shadowlands, my starting team. Skilletary, Chaos Theory, Chaos or Payday Event, Skilletary. As you can see, I only invest ions and stuff in characters that I'm going to use through different game modes, okay? Is what I'm trying to explain. I will jump onto my level 70 free to play and kind of show you how it's going over there. Maybe that can give you a little more clarification, hopefully. There's no right or wrong answer here, but you want to try to focus 5 characters. Because like I said, it takes so many ions, and I want to show you that right here, right now. It takes over 500,000 to do one character up to a level 5, tier 1 level 5 ISO. Right here, it takes 50,000 to fuse it, 50K. So that's 50, 50, 50, 50, 50. That's 250 by itself. Another 50 in the middle to take this from 4 to 5. That's 300,000 ions, okay? And that's just to go from 4 to 5. It's not counting the other 40, 50,000 you have to use to go from 0 to 4, okay, on each of these. As well as it takes 81 badges in each of these locations. Oh, man, I'm still on the other screen. I'm sorry. Boom. So 50, 50, 50. Yeah, I'm 50, 50, 50, 50, 50. Plus another 50 here. You're spending 500,000 ions easy is what I'm trying to say. 81 badges for each of these is a lot of ISO badges to use up, okay? And if you have to do that on 5 characters, you kind of want to focus, all right? You'll burn through this stuff so fast. All right, so I want to show you how I'm doing here. I'm almost to a third one. Once I get these guys to level 5 ISO, I will be able to get into the third one. He's the next one I'm going to take to 5. I'm using him from the Dark Dimension 2. When I have my first run, he will be a part of it. Fury will, for the sustain, as well as Kestrel. But the team I'm using right now, I guess you could use any compilation of these characters. Kestrel's carrying it with Shang-Chi. So again, over here, the 5 I'm using is with Zemo because I have a 7 red star. If I hadn't pulled a 7 red star, I'd just use him to unlock villains, as well as Doom War chapters and Nexus for the Hydras. Otherwise, Fury's the one I'm going to focus with my 5 here, because I'm using him to unlock Omega Red, as well as he will eventually turn into a war offense or defense for me. And I want to invest into him. He's part of my farming guide and my dream for this account. So that's how I got to this conclusion. Obviously, these 3, 4, and 5 are the 5 I'm going to use level 5 ISO first to do this. And that's just what I'm doing because that's part of my plan for my account as well as my guide. The characters I'm using here, again, level 3 ISO is not a bad thing. I'm using him to unlock Omega Red, Kree's to unlock Fury, Web Warriors, and my Shadowlands. I'm taking them up. Ideally, Web Warriors will fill out, and I'll take the tier 5 ISO, finishing this off with 5 Web Warriors. Barring I unlock all 5, okay? It's pending on that. Now for mutants, as you can see, the team I'm using or did use was right here or right here. One of those 2 were plugged in with these 4, Astonishing X-Men as well as Weapon X, which I'm going to use Astonishing X-Men in Doom Raids unless we get a better mutant team, and I'm going to use Weapon X as a war team and or whatever I choose to in the future. You know what I mean? That's a team I want. It's a team I'm going after. Both these characters, Raid Orb, free from the achievements. They're cheap, easy to invest into. It's a team I want. It's a team I'm going to ISO 5, and that's who I'm going to use. The 5 I'll use is these 4, and probably Beast from my mutagens there. Again, they're going to be used in Doom Raids, and some will transition into Dark Dimension. The characters I used here, these 2 carry it, like I said. But if you miss them, you got to go a different direction. Well, I'm going Shadowlands. There you go, Shadowlands. I did have Silver Surfer from being in my Titans Reborn alliance, or in the alliance Titans Reborn. It's my main alliance that I'm in. Moving forward, though, it changed. These 3 are going into DD2 as 3 of my first 5, as well as my Shadowlands. Those are the 5 I'm using, and I will continue to use these 2, and Elektra, barring something changes. And the last one here, Original Industry. The characters I used are kind of who I have on hand. Kestrel carries. LDS is part of my Weapon X. Kree unlock Fury. This is for a payday event. And Nebula was just a character I kind of invested a little heavier in starting out, but I have since quit investing in her, and I will not take her any higher. These 2, 3, not Nebula, 4, and then kind of it'll either be, you know what I mean? I'll have to use someone else, essentially. But Mysterio would probably be the next best choice because I'm using him to unlock Shuri. Obviously, if I had a Ghost, I would invest into a Ghost because I'm going to use them in Dark Dimension more than likely, as well as the Tech Lane of Doom. Tech Lane of Doom, Skill Lane of Doom, Dark Dimension for sure. LDS is just part of my Weapon X team. And that's kind of how I go about investing in them. I don't go willy-nilly. You want to pick 5 characters and take them to 3, 4, 5. Now, a few extras at level 3 is not going to hurt anybody for your arena or your raid team that you're using currently. Going to 3 is rather cheap, and it's a necessary cost to take some of these characters to level 3. But when you're talking about going to level 4, that's a different story. Just bear that in mind. I hope this helped. Definitely like and subscribe. Tons more content to come out. Thumbs it up. Help the channel out if it's helping you at all. Comment down below if you have any further questions. There is no right or wrong way to do it. But that's how I go about it. And you want to focus 5 characters you're going to use later in the game. And invest into them now, early in the game. Okay? And that's how I would recommend going about it. I want to thank you for watching to the end. Much love. Stay happy, healthy. Hopefully we'll catch you in the next one. We shall see you in the next one. Have a great day.